Hello, everybody. How are you guys? It's time. That's right. It's time for another Lyrics Explained. Now, that's where I take your music and I break it down using my 9 years at the University of Winnipeg in Manitoba, where they had the best lyrics explanation degree program in the free world. And I learned from the best, and I also learned to play a pretty good goalie position. Keep that glove hand at the ready is what I learned. And in this particular episode, we're going to go back to March of last year, of 2020, and the production of After Hours, the fourth Weeknd solo album. Let's jump right into it, guys. We'll break it down as we go. We're going to go through 14 tracks. The number one is Alone Again. How many times have you gone to a big box store, one of these major retailers that offer a lot of convenient products, but sometimes you need a little help, and you're back in the paint section and you're looking at many types of white gloss? You have no idea. You look around, can I get some help from somebody? But no, you are alone again, my friend. I don't even care if you get on that speakerphone thing. I don't care if you get on the house phone. I don't care if you stop somebody that has a uniform on and say, can you send somebody over here? Nobody's coming, guys. You're alone again. Now, number two on the track list is Too Late. This is such a great ability of the Weeknd to talk about everyday things that we all experience. And it's one of the reasons why he's one of the top people in the business. So you call the Uber. The Uber comes a lot faster than you thought. I looked on the app like they were across town, but now they're outside your door. But you still aren't ready. You text, I'm coming down, but you're on the clock and you can see the timer. You finally get all of the things you need and forget the one thing you need for the trip. You run back upstairs, you run back down and look out the door, and they're gone. It is too late, my friend. It's a hard one to deal with. Now, number three on the track list of the Weeknd's album After Hours is Hardest to Love. And while this speaks to such a common thing that we as a young people are making our way through the world, okay? I'm talking about my past, your possibly current life. But as young people, when we're that age, we're making our way through life. And sometimes we take for granted the loves that we find at that time. Maybe you're trying to find the perfect mate. Well, now you're making it way too hard, because what's going to happen, guys, is you're going to get older and you're going to look back and you go, man, I blew it with her. I mean, I could say this 57 times. And what's happening is you are making yourself the hardest to love. You are not letting them into your heart. Now, number four on the track list is Scared to Live. You know, life is funny in that it's really unlimited when you think about it. If you're able to take on failure with a smile, what the ancient Stoics would say is a quiet citadel in your mind, because it's like the rain. You don't complain about the rain, or you don't complain that it appears. You know it's going to rain. Well, it's the same thing with difficulties in life. You've got to be able to put on rain gear in your mind. And that's why you don't want to be scared to live. You want to expect problems, and therefore you move forward with confidence. It's a great track. Now, number five is Snow Child. And this talks about the Weeknd's many trips to go up to Canada to play hockey with Drake. And after you play hockey for a good 9-10 hours, what do you want to do? You want to relax outside. And so what they do is they would just, with their gear on, with their hockey gear on, take the skates off, of course, and they would just fall back into a snowbank. And then they would do shots of whiskey and some good, strong Canadian coffee, and they would feel completely revived. It's a period piece. A look at an episode of his life where he was learning from some of the greats. And vice versa. A lot of people think that Drake was majorly influenced by The Weeknd on a lot of his tracks. Snow Child, a great track. Number 6 is Escape from L.A. Wow, doesn't this really talk about a major exodus that is happening. Because of the pandemic, many people, of course, working out of their house. I'm a veteran. It wasn't new to me. But a lot of people are now online working due to the pandemic. And after a while, you say, why am I paying New York rent? Why am I paying LA rent? Or why am I saving up to buy a cracker box house the size of an actual cracker box that costs $2 million in Los Angeles? No, they're leaving for Nashville. They're leaving for Idaho Falls. They're leaving for Boulder, for Austin. It's the escape from LA, and this song captures that feeling. And number 7 on the track list is Heartless. Wow, this is kind of a follow-up to Escape from LA because it's more than the rent, why people are leaving in Los Angeles and New York. There's also this feeling that they lost a lot of what they knew and experienced before they went to these coastal elite cities. Somebody saying hi to you on the street, seeing a dog come up to you, a dog that's not yours, wagging his tail because he just wants to be petted, okay, on the small town street as you go to the barbershop. Okay, so in other words, the bigger cities are heartless compared to the heart-filled heartland. Now, Faith is the next track, number 8 on our list of The Weeknd's After Hours, a seminal album, the 4th of his solo albums. And this, of course, came out in March of 2020. It talks about some difficulty he had having faith in the horse betting systems at his local track, because he went through a streak of not winning. And when after a while you start to believe that the system is broken, that the computers don't work, that possibly you are getting cheated, not by the horses, although there might be some shenanigans going on the track and in the stables before, but by the technology. The technology. Now, number 9 is Blinding Lights. Wow, what a monster hit. A massive, major international hit, possibly one of his best-selling tracks of all time. And, of course, the Weeknd's only like 23 years old. I don't know, 24. He looks young. I'm not sure of his age. But Blinding Lights, talking about going through life and finding these people that are trying to distract you from your goal. They're trying to blind you. They're putting lights in your eyes. They're shining a flashlight in there, maybe an LED light, maybe the glow from their smartphone, possibly their smart watch, trying to get you off track. Well, you're determined, man. You are on your game. Your eyes are ahead. Your chin is up. You're ready for the fight. And you are not taking any blinding lights. You got on sunglasses. Now, number 10 on the track list for The Weeknd's After Hours album is In Your Eyes. And it talks about the perception that we have in different people's eyes. Now, maybe your parents think of you as someone up on a pedestal. Oh, there goes my son. Look at him go. Whereas perhaps your girlfriend has a different opinion because somehow the things that she tells you or asks you to do politely aren't sinking into your cerebellum. Now, number 11 on the track list for The Weeknd's After Hours album is Save Your Tears. This talks about when you go skiing in the higher elevation. Now, I'm not talking about the 4,000 or 5,000 foot hill. I'm not talking about East Coast skiing. I'm talking about West Coast. Okay, I'm talking about Breckenridge. You get up there about 11, 12,000, 16,000 feet. You can save your tears. Why? Because your tears turn into icicles. You could take them home, put them in the freezer for later, then take them out and put them in your bourbon. Take them out and put them in your vodka. Take them out and put them in your Diet Coke. You can save your tears. I mean, guys, it's crazy. Now, number 12 on the track list of The Weeknd's After Hours is Repeat After Me. And wow, it's an interlude, guys. It's an interlude between those first 11 tracks and the 13th track, After Hours, the title track, and number 14, Until I Bleed Out. It gives you a break. And again, we've talked about this many times on Lyrics Explained. Every album is an arc of a story. It's a mini movie. And so here it's the lull before the storm that is the title track. And it's coming, guys, because that is a 6-minute song. The next one is 6 minutes. So you can't just go right into it after a song about saving your tears. You have to have an interlude. And that's what this is about. It's kind of like taking a break in hockey. You can't play every shift. You have to have breaks. Why do you think they have 3 lines? It's so that you can take a rest before you go out there and the guy chops your head off and it goes flying into the 5th row. Which leads us to number 13, the title track, this monster song. 6 minutes of genius by The Weeknd talking about After Hours. Now, when you're The Weeknd, you have limitless thinking. That's one reason why you're so big. And when you're The Weeknd, when the bars close at 2 o'clock, you say, oh, okay, I got to go home. Maybe you don't want to go home. Maybe you don't want to go to Denny's. Maybe you don't want to go to IHOP. You want to keep the party going. And that's where you know there's after hours action. Maybe even a little poker game going on that the cops aren't supposed to know about, but you know about. And the song talks about his personal experience, but he's asking you to put yourself into the story and finding where those limits are that you're putting on yourself. It's an unbelievable song, guys. Now, number 14 is Until I Bleed Out. And this talks about putting forth your best effort until you can't put any more effort in at all. You have laid it all out on the table. You have put it on the field. You're not taking anything of it home. And he learned to do this when he was a young kid playing baseball, Little League. And his parents, his coaches would say to him, Weeknd, you got to leave it on the field, because if you don't, no, McDonald's, you're not going to McDonald's, boy. You're not going to McDonald's, man. And nobody else is. And so that's how they used the thing that was most important to them at the age of 7 to get them to leave it on the field. And it developed that habit that is now permeating all of his artistic works today. Well, guys, there you go. I just went track by track through all 14 songs, excluding the deluxe edition bonus tracks, but I gave you the core of it, guys. And that tells you, wow, it's really a kind of an insight into the mind of a genius. And it's March 2020's release of After Hours, his 4th studio album. Come on back, guys. There's so much more to go on the channel. We're going to have lots of fun, including more lyrics explained episodes like this, so that you can understand the context of your favorite music and enjoy it even more.